Hello everyone, welcome to the Comic Gamer Movie Show. My name's Deshaun, and today I'm here to talk about a bit of news that came out earlier today. There's a couple bit of news that came out earlier today, but I'm here to talk about a specific thing that I find very interesting, and honestly, it's a little detail that I know no one's gonna even really talk about, so I'm just going to make a video about it because I'm actually excited for this. Now, there are little things that make me excited for movies and shows. First of all, The Mandalorian season 1 was damn near perfect. It was fantastic. I had a blast watching it. I loved the baby. I loved all the characters. I had a fun with all the episodes, honestly. Even episode 5, which a lot of people, including Rotten Tomatoes, consider to be the lowest of the low. Like that thing's barely fresh on Rotten Tomatoes, and most people said that it was so weak. And a lot of people, I remember when episode 5 came out, were like, "Oh, this might be the end of the Mandalorian." Came back together, turned out great, and I, for one, enjoyed the action sequences. I enjoyed them where they were, but they weren't the most mind-blowing action sequences. In terms of Star Wars action sequences, the action scenes in The Mandalorian were some of the best, but in terms of the action sequences in the entirety, of film and things of that nature, it's not on the level of a Daredevil or a level of a Winter Soldier. I'm just naming things in the comic book, in the genre. It's not on that kind of a level. But it's still fun. And it was still great, and it had a bit of a realistic grittiness to it. And when you see the behind the scenes on the new documentary they have on Disney Plus, you see that a lot of that shit happened. It was like real choreography. It wasn't like CGI or nothing. It was like real stuff, and them figuring it out pre-hand and everything. But I'm talking about this because recently there was, and this has been confirmed, by the way, that the director of Extraction has come on to do the second team unit action sequences and to work on most of the action sequences in The Mandalorian season 2 overall. If you don't know why this is like secretly some of the biggest news like low-key biggest news, is because his last name's Hargrave. I forgot his first name, but his last name Hargrave. Hargrave has worked on many great action sequences. He's the one who brought you the famous airport scene in Civil War. He also worked on The Winter Soldier. He also worked on Infinity War and Endgame. In fact, in Endgame, the scene where Captain America is fighting Captain America, Hargrave himself is in the other Captain America outfit with the mask on. So, like, him and his brother are like stunt doubles for that. So, just to put it out there, this is an experienced action director. He also, and obviously, he directed and obviously he did the action sequences for Extraction. Extraction itself, as a movie, is meh, but the action in that movie are top-notch. They're top-notch, they're fantastic, they're really good, they're mind-numbingly good. So the idea that this guy is going to bring his talents from Extraction and bring them over and put that into The Mandalorian, and he's talked about it, and you can look it up, he was talking about it, that's why it's like pretty much confirmed. He was talking about it, he said they wanted him to come in and punch up. They contacted Jon Favreau and Star Wars contacted him to bring him on board to punch the action up, to make the action crisp, to do second team unit. Just so you know what second team unit is, a lot of people don't know. Second team unit are basically, you got the first team unit, obviously, who was pretty much the director. The director, in the case of the Russos, the directors, they do the scene, they do the action sequences, they do it, they film it, and then second team unit comes in, and they film it again, but they see what they can improve. They see what they can make better. That's why you have a second team unit, to see what you can make better, to see what you can do better here, so you can do better here. It's kind of almost, it's not like an editor, but it's like what's the word I'm looking for? A second team unit. It's like, it's literally like you come up with an idea for a story, and you throw it out there and you go, this is how I want this to go. And then they bring in another team, and then they bring in some other guys to look at it. It's kind of like rewrites. How many rewrites a script has. Like most scripts for a movie started one thing, and the general idea of the script came through, But and bits and parts, and maybe even some of the biggest parts came through. But the details, the why, the hows, that different stuff has changed over time. As so many people, it's like a game of telephone, and so many people are looking at it and going, "I like that, I like that." Ooh, but what if we did that? And they rewrite the script, and then so many people are getting it. And sometimes it can make masterpieces. Sometimes it can just make a mess because you have multiple people who have different ideas of how it should go down. In a lot of ways, that is how a second unit action team is. For example, the John Wick guys, the guy who's well, I think just one of them came on to do the second team unit on both Birds of Prey and Captain America: Civil War. Just so you know, and in particular, those are two movies that I would think a lot of people would say that the action in those movies are some of the most standout things in them. So that just lets you know right there. So they went and got this guy. You've already seen what he can do action-wise with the Marvel stuff, particularly the Captain America stuff and his own movie Extraction. It just makes me excited for the action set pieces that are going to happen in this show. If you're getting on a guy like him, that means there's going to be a lot more hand-to-hand combat. It's going to be a lot more down and gritty and right in your face. Like I said, you bring on this guy to come on and do some of the action set pieces and do the second team unit, action pieces. I'm surprised they were able to do that without no one knowing about it. This has got to be the craziest thing. The entire show is filmed. Entire season 2 is filmed. They're writing season 1 right now. Like season 3. Season 3 is already written. Season 3 is written. They're just getting things together for when the pandemic ends to get back into production. And there's nothing out. Only thing we have are casting rumors. But nothing concrete, nothing confirmed, nothing out there. And it's so crazy. I'm like, this thing's more secretive. I was like, the Mandalorian's on some Marvel shit. You know, Marvel, you don't even know until they wouldn't confirm Jake Gyllenhaal was Mysterio until until they actually started marketing the movie. But yeah, it's so crazy that there's so many things there was rumors about Robert Rodriguez, but it was oh well, whatever. James Mangold, there was rumor about James Mangold too directing something, but he's not doing it, so obviously that didn't pan out. So The Mandalorian season 2, it just can't get here any sooner. I believe it comes out in October. I can't wait. I'm waiting for a trailer, man. I just want to see something. I am so excited for this, man. And this news just makes me more excited because it's just like I said, it means that the action is going to be even better. Whatever you thought about season 1, the action will be better. I can't imagine the action being worse. So thank you guys for joining me on Comic Game Movie Show. Please remember to like and subscribe. And are you excited about this news about Hargrave coming on to punch up the action for The Mandalorian? This man has directed some of the best action sequences in the MCU, and he's also been responsible for directing Extraction, which is definitely has some of the best action of this decade. I will say that Extraction has some of the best action of this decade. This guy's coming on to lend his services on The Mandalorian. Thank you guys for joining the Comic Game Movie Show. Please remember to like, subscribe. See you in the next one. Goodbye.